Many people start working on arpeggios without really knowing how to use them in a musical context. They'll practice their arpeggios straight up and down like this. I'm going to play the E shape of a C major 7 arpeggio. So a lot of people practice it straight up and down, but not actually use it in music. So I have a backing track that I created on iReal Pro that's just a loop of a C major 7 chord. And I'm going to use the notes of the arpeggio to solo over this backing track, just like I would a pentatonic scale or some other scale. These are just note choices that sound particularly good over a C major 7 chord because every note of the arpeggio is in the C major 7 chord. So here we go. If you learn all 5 cage shapes of a C major 7 chord, it can give you a lot of pathways from which to make melodies. So here I'm going to solo with all 5 shapes of a C major 7 arpeggio. Learning the 7th chord arpeggios for major 7s, dominant 7s, minor 7s, and minor 7 flat 5s is really the key to learning how to solo over jazz. So here I'm going to play a 1-6-2-5 progression. C major 7, A7, D minor 7, G7. And I'm going to use the arpeggios of each of those chords to solo with. Here's what that sounds like. Now I'm going to solo using those same arpeggios with no backing track, and you should be able to hear from the melody that I'm playing what the chords are as they go by. 1, 2, 3, 4. One of the biggest struggles that I had when I was learning to play jazz was what I call direct arpeggios versus relational arpeggios. So direct arpeggios are playing the actual arpeggio of the chord that's going by. So if it's a C major 7 chord, you use a C major 7 arpeggio to solo with. Now in jazz, a lot of times people try to obscure the harmony a little bit. And so they will play what I call relational arpeggios. So over a C major 7 chord, for instance, you could play an E minor 7 chord, an E minor 7 arpeggio, and that sounds great, but it's a little bit indirect. Before you start working on any of the relational arpeggios, you should make sure that you can play the direct arpeggios of a song. So if a song's chord progression is C major 7, A7, D minor 7, G7, you should be able to play those arpeggios over the chords. Playing the direct arpeggios over the chords gives you really strong melodies. And if you analyze some of your favorite jazz melodies, they are oftentimes based on arpeggios and chord tones. I hope that's helpful. Follow me for more guitar lessons and let me know if you have any questions.